So here we're going to start off with the first problem on homework 1.1. Homework 1.1 should be a really nice problem, especially if you have that Casio FX115 ES Plus. You should just fly by and be done with it in about 5 minutes. It's going to take me a little longer because what I'm going to be doing is doing each problem step by step. But the whole idea with this section is to really get yourself familiar with this calculator. You want to make sure you get yourself familiar with the calculator. That way it makes your homework very easy as you progress through this course. So the first problem tells us to evaluate 7/9 to the power of 3. Remember, all that is just 7 over 9 times 7 over 9 times 7 over 9. But what you could do is just input it in your calculator just like that as well. And I'm just going to do it the long way. But once you put it into your calculator, 7 to the power, open parentheses, 7/9, close parentheses to the power of 3, it should give you a nice answer like 343 over 729. And what you're going to notice with your Casio FX115 ES Plus calculator is that it's even going to be reduced for you. Next problem, they want you to evaluate the expression. Same thing, if you have your calculator, you could input it in your calculator just as it shows, which is 3/2 times 1/3 plus 3 over 5 times 2 over 3. If you put it in your calculator just like that, it's going to give you an answer. But what I'm going to do is just take it step by step. So you multiply across, 3 times 1 is 3. Multiply the denominators, 2 times 3 is 6. And we're multiplying first because the order of operation tells us we multiply. So again, multiply the numerators, we get 6. Multiply the denominators, we get 15. Now what we need to do here is find an LCD. And our LCD will just be $90, which is 15 times 6. 15 times 6. So we multiply, we get 15. We get, let's delete that. We multiply, we get 15 times 3, which is 45, over 90 plus 36 over 90. We add those and we'll get 81 over 90, which can be reduced because 81 breaks up to 9 times 9, 90 breaks up to 9 times 10. We see 9's cancel. We get a solution of 9/10. Once again, like I said, you should just be able to input this in your calculator, not have to go through all these steps, okay? Next problem wants us to evaluate the expression. And another nice problem because here we see addition, division, and multiplication. Once again, you could just input it in your calculator just like that. But what I'm going to do is do it step by step. Then we get 5 because we follow order of operations and we divide first. Still following order of operations, we get 20. Bring that down, we get 50. So a couple of steps, but you should just be able to put it in your calculator in this one simple step and it should give you the same solution. Another problem that you could input in your calculator just like this. The whole idea, like I said, I cannot emphasize it enough, is to get familiar with how to use your calculator. And that's all you're going to be doing in chapter 1 and chapter 2. So it's very important that you get your calculator as quickly as possible, because you're going to notice that I'm going to take a bunch of steps to solve this problem. But with your calculator, it should be a nice one easy step. So the first thing I'm going to do is say, hey, 3 plus 6 order of operations, that changes to 9. And then the next thing I say, hey, 4 minus 3, that changes to 1. Make sure, make this look like a 9. The next thing I do, that was the first step. That was the second step. Third one is right here, 9 minus 2. I say that's 7. And then fourth, I do 3 squared, make that 9. All I'm doing from here is multiplying. 9 times 5 goes to 45. 3 times 1 stays as 3. 3 times 7 is 21 minus 9. Work the top part out, gives me 48. Work the bottom part out, 21 minus 9 gives me 12, and I just divide 48 divided by 12, get a solution of 4. A lot of steps, but you could just put this in your Casio FX 115 ES Plus calculator, and you won't even have to do all this, and you'll get the same solution as for. Excuse me. This is a nice problem. We're going to start seeing a lot of these kind of word problems in this course. It says 5 is less than 4, or equal to 9 minus 1. So 5 is less than 4. That is going to be written 5 is less than or equal to 9 minus 1. So this is saying 5 is less than or equal to 9 minus 1. So this less than or equal to is telling us we're dealing with an inequality. Okay? It's telling us that 5 is less than or equal to 9 minus 1. You can also write it like 5 is less than or equal to 9 minus 1. And this last one, all they want you to do is write it as symbols being reversed. Just like that last problem I showed you how to do it 2 ways. Here the same thing. This says 2 is less than 13. So we could rewrite it as saying 2 is less than 13. So those are the problems that you're going to be seeing on section 1.1.